Hi there guys, I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech, and in this video I will be unboxing the latest phone from Realme, the Realme 3i. Now this is their latest budget phone under 10,000 rupees. It starts at 8,000 rupees and it's being sold exclusively online on Flipkart and Realme's very own website. Now this phone is available in three colors: diamond black, diamond blue and the diamond red, and we have the diamond red color. So without any further delays, let's just get on with unboxing. So guys, here's the box and it looks pretty similar to all the previous Realme phones with this grey box with the phone's name, and they always put the Realme brand at the bottom. So it looks pretty similar, and on the left side and right side we have the phone's name. That's the Realme 3i. Now on the back side it's completely plain and you get the IMEI numbers and some product information. So without any further delays, let's just get on with unboxing. By the way guys, this phone is available in two variants. Base variant is priced at 8,000 rupees and it comes with 3GB of RAM and 32GB of storage. Next variant is priced at 10,000 rupees for 4GB of RAM and 64GB of storage. Now just so you know, Realme 3 is priced at 9,000 rupees and it comes with 3GB of RAM and 32GB of storage. And most importantly, it comes with a Helio P70 processor, while this phone comes with a Helio P60 processor. So for just 1,000 rupees more, you can get drastically better performance. So I really don't know why Realme has to launch another phone priced so closely. Anyway, this is the box, and once we open it up, we have this cardboard packaging which probably has the SIM card ejector, case and some documentation. So first we have important information guide and quick start guide, and the soft silicone case which we'll come back to in a minute. Next we have the phone itself. Let me just put that aside. I didn't even know which color I ordered, so this is probably the blue color. Let me just put that aside. Next we have a micro USB charging cable, so no type C, and a 10 watts power adapter. So guys, these are all the contents of the box. Now let me just put everything aside and come back to the phone. So on the back it has a sticker with IMEI numbers as usual, so let me just remove that. And now this is how the phone looks on the back. This is the diamond cut design we have seen with Realme 1. That's the first phone they have launched. I guess it was priced around 9,000 rupees for the same 3GB 32GB variant. And yes, it does look pretty cool. So guys, now let's have a quick physical overview and then check out the complete specifications. Now on the back, this phone has a plastic fiber material with a nice texture to it. It adds a lot of grip to your phone. It's not glossy, so it won't attract fingerprints that much. And as I've told you, it has this diamond cut design, which definitely looks pretty cool, especially because of that two-tone color. So right now, I'm really loving this back panel. Anyway, at the top it has a dual camera setup with a 13 megapixel primary camera with f1.8 aperture and a 2 megapixel secondary camera for depth sensing. That's followed by a single LED flash. Now this entire camera setup is enclosed in this ring, and it does have a small camera bump to it, and when you put your phone on a flat surface without a case, phone does wobble a little. Now beside the camera module you have the circular fingerprint scanner with a nice matte finish to it, and at the bottom we have just the Realme branding. Now on the front it has a 6.2-inch IPS display with HD plus resolution with 19:9 aspect ratio, giving it 88.3% screen to body ratio. It's also protected by a 2.5D curved Corning Gorilla Glass 3, and it also comes with a free screen guard pre-applied, which I really appreciate. Now this phone also has that dewdrop notch with a 30 megapixel camera inside it with 1.12 micron pixel size. Above the front camera, it has the earpiece. Now below the display it's completely plain, and I must say the chin is pretty huge. Now coming to the sides, on the right side you have just the power button, on the left side you get the volume buttons and the SIM card tray, housing two nano SIM slots along with a dedicated SD card slot. At the top it is completely plain, and at the bottom you get the mono speaker on the left side followed by a micro USB charging port, primary microphone and the 3.5mm audio jack. Now finally, this phone has a thickness of 8.3mm and weighs 175 grams. Now for some quick initial impressions, phone doesn't feel thicker or thinner, it's somewhere in between. And even the weight distribution seems to be very well done because phone doesn't feel all that heavy, even though it weighs 175 grams. Now let's check out the case that we got inside the box. So it's a plastic case and it's pretty easy to put it on. You got all the cutouts, and you also got this flap at the bottom for charging port to make it a bit more water resistance. And with the case on, buttons are nice and clickable. And it also has a sufficiently big raised lip on the front, and it also has a raised lip on the back. So this case is providing pretty good protection for your phone. Now for the rest of the specifications, this phone sports a MediaTek Helio P60 processor with Mali G72 GPU with 3GB of RAM and 32GB of storage. It also has dedicated SD card slot which supports up to 256GB. It will be running ColorOS 6 right out of the box based on Android 9.0, that's Android Pie. Finally, powering all this is a 4230 mAh battery. There's no fast charging, and you get a 10 watts power adapter inside the box. So guys, those were all the specifications. Now let me turn on the phone and set it up and come back to you in a second. So guys, this is how the phone looks once we turn it on. On the left side, you have the Smart Assistant with some widgets, and these are all the apps that come on your home screen. And if you swipe up, you can check out the app drawer. And as you can see, there are a lot of apps pre-installed, but you can uninstall them if you don't want to use them. And I would definitely suggest you to uninstall any of the applications that you don't use. So this is the launcher, and now out of that 3 GB of RAM, right out of the box you get about 1.1 GB or 1.2 GB of free RAM, which is pretty good. And out of that 32 GB of internal storage, you have about 19.1 GB of space for your user apps and user data. Now let's check out the about page. This phone is running ColorOS version 6 based on Android version 9.0, that's Android Pie. And right out of the box it has the June security patch, so that's pretty good. Now let's check out the camera interface. So this is the interface for the rear camera, and over here you have the button for 2x digital zoom. Now this phone just has two cameras. The primary camera is for taking pictures and the secondary camera is just used for depth sense, so for taking portrait shots. So this 2x zoom is the digital zoom. It's just like you doing a pinch to zoom gesture, and that's it. So I would suggest you not to use it and just take pictures in 1x zoom. Now you also have chroma boost mode right out of the box, so that's pretty cool. And on the right side you have portrait mode for rear camera. For video recording, we can record video in 1080p resolution. There is no 4K and there is no 60 FPS either. Now if we check out other modes, we have Google Lens integrated into the camera itself. Next we have slow motion. We can record video in slow motion at 90 FPS at 720p resolution. Next you also have panorama, time-lapse, expert mode, that's the pro mode. Next we have nightscape, which is supposed to take better pictures in low lighting conditions. I'll post some sample pictures later. Now this is the front camera, and initial impressions, it looks kinda okay for the price. So we have beauty mode and you get all these cool features, and you also have portrait selfie, that's over here, and you can record video in 1080p resolution even using the front facing camera. And this one also has something called panorama mode for the front camera. On Samsung phones it was called as wide angle selfie. So you just take a selfie or just take a picture and move the camera around like this to take a wider selfie, or in this case a panoramic selfie. So this is your regular selfie and this is your wide angle selfie, and it does take pretty wide selfies. So guys, this is the camera interface and these are some sample pictures. Now let's test the speaker loudness. So guys, speaker on this phone is not super loud or too loud, but sufficiently loud enough for media consumption, ringtones and alarms. Now let's test the fingerprint scanner. I've already set it up, so here we go. Okay. Just like with all the Realme and Oppo phones, fingerprint scanner is super fast. It just takes a split second to unlock the phone, and that's something I really appreciate. Now let's test face unlock. I've already set it up as usual, and as you can see, face unlock is also working insanely fast. Like, it's just taking a split second. Now let's test it in low lighting conditions, and even in low lighting conditions it is super fast. Like, most of the time I can't even see the lock screen. So guys, as you have seen, face unlock is super fast on this phone in good lighting conditions and even in low lighting conditions. So that's pretty cool. Now coming back to the UI, this phone has something pretty unique called Smart Bar. You can access it by swiping from the right side over here, and these are your quick actions and these are your quick applications. They are just quick shortcuts to open applications faster. You can edit this list by just long pressing, and if you want to remove it, you can do that as well. And this over here are some quick actions. You can take a screenshot, record the screen, and do crazy stuff like that. Now while watching video or playing a game in landscape mode, you can swipe near the notch area to bring out the smart bar. And once again, you get access to the same quick actions and quick applications. So that's one unique feature on this phone. Next, this phone also has gestures. So if you don't like these buttons, we can enable them by going to settings, then select smart convenient, then select convenient aid, and then select navigation keys. Now we have swipe up gestures. Just like the OnePlus phones, you can swipe from the right side or left side to go back. You can swipe from the center to go home. You can swipe and hold from the center for recent apps. Now if you're using these gestures, there is no way to trigger Google Assistant as there is no navigation bar. So for that, this phone also has a nice little shortcut. Go to Convenience Aid and enable this toggle. Once you do that, you can press and hold the power button to trigger Google Assistant. And there we go. And if you press and hold it for like 3 seconds, you get power options. And there are your power options. Now before I conclude, these are the Antutu and Geekbench scores. So guys, this is the new Realme 3i. This is the latest phone, and I have also unboxed the Realme 3, and I can say that except for this pretty cool pattern and the back texture, everything looks pretty similar. Like there is a change in UI and the cameras also seems to be better on this phone, but besides that everything is same. And as I've told you already, for just extra 1000 rupees you can get the Realme 3 with Helio P70 processor, which is definitely better than this. So guys, if you're looking for a phone with all the latest tricks up its sleeve like that dewdrop notch and bigger battery, then you can consider this phone. But if you want my suggestion, I'll say if you're a gamer, if you are into gaming, you like to play PUBG, then instead of buying this phone, I'll suggest you to go with something like Asus Zenfone Max Pro M1. It doesn't have this notch, it has pretty huge bezels at the top and bottom, but you still get Snapdragon 636 processor with a massive 5000 mAh battery, and most importantly, a Full HD resolution display. This is just HD by the way. So if you're a gamer, you can definitely consider that phone, and if you just want the latest thing, you can definitely consider this phone. And by the way, it is definitely better than currently Redmi phones, as this phone sports a Helios P60 processor, which is a beast in terms of performance. So guys, what do you think about this phone? Will you be considering to buy it? Do let me know by commenting below this video, and if you're planning to buy this phone, use the link in the description. It always helps the channel. If you want us to make any specific video, tweet out to us with the hashtag AskGreedyTech on Twitter, and we will try to make it as soon as possible. I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech signing off. Have a nice day.